One other important feature that is supported by the Generative AI Lab is the audit log. When you install Generative AI Lab, if you want to activate audit logs, you are able to do so by adding two very short lines. You have all of those details about the different audit dashboards that are supported out of the box by Generative AI Lab inside of the PowerPoint presentation. You can check what each one of those audit dashboards can be used for, what's the purpose, how you can keep track of your users' activity, of the exports and imports of pre-annotations and all the actions which are performed on the projects defined in your instance, on the data. And this is on top of the completion trails that you already see as part of the UI. Okay, so this will show you precise all the actions which have been performed by each of the users and the date when they were performed, and you can set up different additional dashboards to help you monitor API requests, the status of the API and of the instance, the user's activities, usage of the instance per hour. So you'll see, which are the peak hours, and you can maybe schedule more complex or higher batch activities in periods of low activity time. So in general, in healthcare industry, it's very important, and it's actually required by the law to have to implement audit controls that record and examine activity within your system, especially if you are handling electronic or protected health information. Specifically, HIPAA mandates tracking of access to patient records, changes done on the PHI records, logins, logouts, failed login attempts, data exports and transmissions, administrative changes, and so on. There is also a requirement that the audit logs must be protected from tampering, retained for at least 6 years in many cases, and must be available for audit and investigations. And Generative AI Lab provides all of that. So as I said, you have different dashboards here. You can see the project activities, let's say in the last 4 months. So you can select here the project that you want to check. Let's see, maybe, okay, this one, and what were all the actions which were performed by all the users on this particular project and the time of that action. You can see, check the user behavior as well. Okay, who are the most active users, the user per hour and day, right? So when is the system most loaded, and what are the projects which are most have a higher activity, which are probably the active projects. Also, you can see detailed information about projects, when they were created, who created them, who deleted certain projects, who exported them, who exported the tasks, and in case you want to restrict the exports, for instance, it's also possible to restrict that from within the system settings of the Generative AI Lab, so nobody will be able to copy or move data from your, let's say, sensitive project outside or on their local environment. You can also see what were the interactions that were made via API in the selected period. You see the high peaks when there was higher activity rate. Also the status code for the HTTP request, projects or the calls which were problematic and which ended with some errors or which were successfully executed.